I live alone now. Most of my time I spend in my apartment. Just this morning for breakfast, I had a bowl of Choco Pops and some strawberry Kool-Aid with extra sugar. Almost every day, I go out to the same park and sit on the same bench and remember the same things. I have a very good memory. I can remember things just the way they were. I remember this great idea I had for a painting. I thought of it all myself. My mother said, "Well, don't paint in here. You'll splatter everything." My father said, "Well, that's stupid. Don't you know all painters are poor?" The psychiatrist said, "To be a great painter, you have to be neurotic and suicidal. Is that what you want?" So I gave it up. But I'm glad I listened to my friends. If I hadn't listened to them, just think where I'd be now. The other day I was sitting in my apartment, looking out the window. It was drizzling outside like a runny nose. I just finished a bowl of Fruit Loops and a cherry Coke with extra sugar. And I remembered this great idea I'd had. I was going to ask this girl to marry me. I really liked her. But my friend said, "Well, you don't want to do that. She'll take away your freedom and won't let you go anywhere." Another friend said, "It'll never work out. You're from different backgrounds. Besides, all women are liars and cheats." Psychiatrist said, "To bring children into the world is criminal. Besides, all marriages end in divorce. Is that what you want?" So I gave it up. I'm glad I listened to my friends. If I hadn't listened to them, just think where I'd be now. The other day I was sitting on my park bench out in the park. It was a gray day outside, and the ground was all muddy snow like a baby's diaper. Right out in front of me was a dead robin. It looked so sickening I almost threw up the bologna and margarine sandwich I'd had for lunch. And then I remembered this great idea I'd had for a business. It would have been fun and worthwhile, too. My friend said, "Well, if you do that, you're going to have to get licenses and hire more people and pay extra taxes, and you'll get an ulcer." Another friend said, "Well, that's stupid. Who'd buy anything you made?" Psychiatrist said, "If you're successful, especially if you're successful and make lots of money, you'll be miserable. Is that what you want?" So I gave it up. Oh, I'm glad I listened to my friends. If I hadn't listened to them, just think where I'd be now. I went back to my apartment and made some pineapple jello with marshmallows and extra sugar. And I thought, maybe I shouldn't try to do anything. Maybe I should just follow other people. I fell asleep. The sun glows hot and bright, filling the empty sky with shimmering light. The light hits the trees and splits, sending shafts of light down to the jungle floor. Here amidst the dark foliage I can hardly be seen. My coat is yellow with black stripes. My eyes are black and lethal. My fangs are as long as my claws. I am one-directed, uninfluenced, and I live alone. For some time now, there has been a murderer in the jungle. He doesn't kill to eat, he kills for pleasure, and not even that cleanly. He tells the monkey he will help him, then sews his fingers together. He says he will help the bird, then clips his wings. He says he will help the snake, then ties his tail to a tree. Then he stands smiling while the animal kills himself or dies of starvation. I know whenever this murderer comes into my vicinity, and I leave quickly. I do not want to confront this evil. He is of no concern to me. But the other day, while I was hunting in the jungle, I realized I was looking behind me too often, and I knew he was looking for me. It is one thing to be cautious, but to be fearful is not my way. This murderer was making the jungle sick and suspicious, and with the knowledge came the responsibility. I could feel the wetness on my whiskers as I pushed through the ferns and dropped my head to take a drink from the pool. The birds sing in the trees. Monkeys chatter. Wild boar crashes away through the undergrowth. I know exactly what I want and exactly what I will do when the time comes. I sink back into the ferns to wait. The sounds of the jungle melt into the heat. Then suddenly I hear what I am waiting for. A step, then another step. And from my hiding place I see the murderer approaching. He stops at the edge of the pool, lays down his rifle and black bag and scoops up some water in his hat. I am crouched on all fours, my belly just touching the ground. My ears are flat against my head. I'm staring directly at him. Even now he's smiling. He senses something and looks up. We confront one another for an instant. He drops his hat, picks up his rifle. I spring. He raises his rifle to firing position. With one swipe, I sever his arm from his body. He screams, raises his other arm to ward me off, but I hit him and knock him back and disembowel him with one swipe of my claws. His quivering body is dead before it hits the ground. The smell of fresh blood pumps into my nostrils. His body convulses once, then lies still. This animal is sick and diseased, so I will not eat it. But I take its head in my jaws and drag it to an anthill and leave it. And I take a long drink from the pool to wash away the taste. The shafts of light are slanting now. Soon it will be night. Black velvet night. And I will prowl the jungle and hunt freely once again. I wake up in my room. It's awfully dark, and it's hot. I'd fallen asleep, and my clothes are wrinkled. Marshmallows are floating in the melted jello. And I wondered, how did I get here? Then, suddenly, I had a great, new
idea